Shalom, friends. This is the Kiva with Israel in 5, and I want to share with you a great opportunity to bring Israel into your home every single month with the new and elegant Israeli calendar by Meir Panim. The calendar highlights Jewish and Israeli national holidays as well as American holidays and features a beautiful picture every single month from a different region of Israel, highlighting the gorgeous landscapes of the land of Israel. All you need to do is make a donation to Meir Panim and you'll get this calendar for free. Click on the link below or go to israel5.org/calendar to make a donation and get this beautiful calendar. The photographs are mostly from an incredible Israeli photographer named Laura Ben David, who unfortunately passed away recently. She was a lover and supporter of Zion, and you can feel that and see that in her photography. You will be treated with her photographs every single month that again highlight the beautiful landscapes of the land of Israel. Just go to israel5.org/calendar to make a donation and get this beautiful calendar. All donations support the continued work of Meir Panim, serving the underprivileged of Israel, whether that be families living below the poverty line, Holocaust survivors, or soldiers. Again, go to israel5.org/calendar, make a donation, get this calendar, and bring Israel into your home every single month and be treated with the beauty and spirit of Israel every single month. All the best, my friends, and be well. Israeli elections are coming up in just under a year, but it's still a good time to take a look at how does the political process work here in the Jewish state. Shalom, my friends. It's Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Elections are a big thing here in Israel, and sometimes the government doesn't last all 4 years that it's been given to rule the country. Sometimes the government collapses earlier as coalition members leave, and therefore the government doesn't have the majority that it needs to rule and to run the country. Let's pause here. What am I talking about? Coalition members? What am I talking about? Majority? Unlike in America, where I grew up, Israel has many different political parties. It's not just two big parties vying for power, election after election. Israel has many, many political parties, a handful of big parties, and a number of very, very small, usually one issue parties. So when I go in to vote, right, I don't just see 2 or 3 choices. I see literally a few dozen choices. Many of these parties, never heard of. They're one issue parties. They come, they go, they're born, they disappear, and they never get into the government because they don't pass the threshold. You need a certain amount of votes in order to get a seat in the government. In Israel, in the parliament known as the Knesset, there are 120 seats, and depending on how much of the vote you got, that determines how many seats you receive. Now, the political party that gets the most amount of votes, they are the ones who then get to, they might have won the vote, but they didn't win ruling the country yet, because now they have to do the really hard work of putting together a coalition that will bring them up to a majority of the seats in the Knesset, basically 61 or more. A party that does really well in the elections will get something like 30-something seats, which is good, but it leaves a lot of seats to fill in order to get to the majority, in order to be able to form a strong coalition. And that's where the work really gets interesting. It usually takes a couple of weeks, a few weeks, it could take a month for that to actually happen. And that's why Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been Prime Minister for so long, because his party keeps winning and he keeps succeeding in building a coalition of sometimes disparate parts, right? This current government is the most right-wing government Israel has ever had, and all the political parties in it are right-wing. That doesn't always happen that way, but usually it's right-wing and center together, or center and left-wing together. Very rarely do you see right-wing and left-wing parties coming together to sit together in the coalition. An interesting fact, though, is that there could be a political party that actually wins the vote, gets the most amount of votes, but the president might not think that they can actually build a coalition, right? So then the president will decide to go to the next party with the next, greatest amount of votes and give them the opportunity to build the party. That happened actually when President Obama became president in America. We had elections here in Israel around the same time, and Tzipi Livni and her party won the popular vote. But the president at the time didn't feel like that she was going to be able to succeed in building her coalition, so he gave it to the next party, and that was Netanyahu, right? And he succeeded. And it's very interesting, just politically, without getting into politics too much, that instead of Obama being the president of America at the time, and Tzipi Livni was the prime minister in Israel, she was more left-leaning. He was president when Netanyahu, much more right-leaning, became prime minister. So these next elections will be very interesting. There's been a big push over the past few years to push Netanyahu out, but he keeps winning the elections. He keeps holding on to power. He keeps getting the votes that he needs to be number one on the list, and given the responsibility and the opportunity to build a coalition government, which he has succeeded at for many, many years now. Again, we have time until the next elections, about 11 months or so. We'll talk about it throughout the next year, and especially as it gets closer. But it's just an interesting look at how politics here in Israel work. All the best, my friends, and be well.